are time-bound.
Wayne, how did I not see you sitting back there? So weird.
Forget your handcuffs.
Each week, we break down another Breaking Bad episode in order. This week, Breaking Bad goes to Germany, Season 5, Episode 2, Madrigal. I've got 29 details you might not know, Mike's 11 men to discuss, plus a record 6 Chekhov's guns scattered throughout this episode. To start things off, the honey mustard is icing, so shout out to Norbert for eating that. He ate lots of these, but did spit them out. Norbert is a German actor, although he has lived in the US for all of his adult life. By the way, I'm going to treat this episode as one giant Germany mentioned, so we can get it out of our systems now. But I love it when these videos spill over into real life. Recently, I thought I saw a film artifact in real life for a split second before I realized that makes no sense.
Dies hier ist eine neue Konzeption. Halb French dressing, halb Ranch. Wir nennen es einfach Franch.
The famous Franch is paint, because the icing they had started to coagulate. Vince borrowed the Franch idea from an old comedy script he wrote. In it, a scientist accidentally kills God and his former lab assistant becomes famous by inventing Franch salad dressing. Yes, that's real. The comedy was never made.
Cajun Kick-Ass, Smoky Mesquite, BBQ. Das letzte ist eigentlich nur Ketchup.
I'm sorry, but those sound like potato chip crunches to me.
Herr Schuler, Sie sind zurück. Diesmal.
Given the relatively small budget, Breaking Bad got so lucky with filming locations like the closed hospital they kept using, or in this case a brand new high school cooking facility built in Albuquerque. Madrigal Electromotive is finally shown after being mentioned in prior seasons. I love the different restaurant brands, and perhaps the most forgettable one, Burgermatic, is a nod to the first script Vince ever wrote for a film class at NYU. It turned into a major movie with Burgermatic playing a central role.
Welcome to Burgermatic. Can I take your order, please?
Warner Brothers presents Drew Barrymore, Luke Wilson, and too many film artifacts to count.
How do you make a Whopper? Man, that's Burger King!
In a romantic comedy where something is always cooking.
Let's cook.
Home fries.
You all come back now.
Look at that attention to detail. These stickers use the German word for caution. They even covered these US outlets, although the rectangular shape might be a giveaway. I tried scouring this footage for tells that this is in the US, but they seem to have done a great job, even with the exit signs. Maybe you Germans can find something I'm missing. Here's what I know. The light switch in the bathroom doesn't look German. Peter Schuler wears a Structure brand undershirt. I suppose that's possible, but it seems unlikely, right? And Germans don't wear their wedding ring on their left hand. They caught this and switched his ring, but only after filming this hallway scene first. They never say it on the show, but this is meant to be the city of Hanover. That outside still looks like Albuquerque to me. Here we continue the tradition of obviously photoshopped photos. Recall that a Chekhov's gun is
any seemingly unimportant element that becomes significant later on in the story.
There's the first one, although the payoff happens quickly. This attempt to translate English is grammatically incorrect. Google Translate gives a better result. Thanks to my German-speaking viewers for helping out here. Look at that red toilet paper. Carefully hanging up his clothes here is reminiscent of Gus and Salute, but Vince said that the parallel wasn't intentional.
Herr Schuler, sind Sie da drin?
Herr Schuler, öffnen Sie diese Tür. Herr Schuler!
An automatic external defibrillator doesn't give a shock unless it detects a fibrillating heart, so I don't think this would work, but don't try this anyway. This set has a raised floor so the camera can be this low, and it's also padded for this fall. They use digital effects to hide that, and to freeze his eye open, although you can see a little bit of the floor sponginess here.
I've looked everywhere, okay? Some innocent person, some kid, maybe even.
Come on.
And they're gonna pick it up and it's gonna...
You're working yourself all
Oh,
Jesse,
my
come on,
God.
Jesse. I'm gonna come over there. We're gonna look for this thing.
That book on Walt's side of the bed is definitely making a statement. And the top book magically tilts when the camera angle changes. At first I thought I saw a film artifact storm in this sped up footage, but I think it's snow or falling leaves. Jesse has 2 copies of Little Big Planet 2, and this was released in 2011, but we're still in 2009. I'm guessing he has open season 2 to watch with Brock, but hopefully he watched The Exorcism of Emily Rose without him. Is this really worth that close of an inspection? It's not in there, Walt.
What the hell is that? A Roomba.
I'm pretty sure a Roomba couldn't suck up the entire cigarette, but we know that Walt placed it in there.
Careful. Is it still intact? Yeah. Good. No worries. Let me get rid of this. What luck.
I know it's not really the ricin, but is flushing it really a good idea?
Jesse?
I almost shot you.
It's just a misunderstanding.
No. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I wouldn't change a thing.
I bet you wouldn't.
You and I working together, having each other's back, it's what saved our lives.
Aw, such a supportive father figure.
I want you to think about that as we go forward.
Go forward where?
I know you come here for Breaking Bad, but stay for the tax trivia, so here we go. The 28th says property taxes due, but New Mexico property taxes are due in April and November, and we're in July. And if that's a 2009 calendar, it's showing January or October. But look at all the clever ways they obscured the brands at the bottom of the calendar. Love it. Pick up photos from Photoshoot. I'd love to see those. Mike is watching The Kane Mutiny, one of Vince's favorite movies. And Mike is going to use that line later.
Thanks for seeing us. We're here to talk partnership.
We figure we're gonna start cooking again.
There's no denying the popularity of our product.
Kaylee seems to be a fan of the product as well.
Each of us will receive a larger cut. Owners, not employees.
A madrigal is a type of song performed by a group without musical instruments, so this could also reference their partnership without a boss like Gus.
Thanks, but no thanks. You are a time bomb, and I have no intention of being around for the boom.
Speaking of boom, this says bam, smash, crash.
Sleep on it. Maybe you'll reconsider. In the meantime, we're pressing on.
So how many Krauts we got?
Well, enough to invade Poland. Came in their own G5, just like Oprah has.
I am shocked and saddened by his death, and outraged by the damage his actions have wrought upon my grandfather's company.
Like so many in Breaking Bad, he's not an actor. He's the German advisor and translator for the show, so he's probably to blame for that bad AED translation.
Alleged actions. An innocent man does not kill himself. To your investigation, I pledge Madrigal's full cooperation and transparency.
This was not product placement, even though it's pretty conspicuous here and here.
Outstanding police work, Hank. If only I'd listened.
It's not right them putting this on you.
Somebody's got to go under the bus.
They used all new DEA sets and locations this season, such as the conference room debuted earlier, but Merkert's office is pretty close to how it looked before. At some point, he upgraded his bookshelves. Government spending at work.
What's with that APD thing? They're thinking it's about Fring's laptop. Anything left of the laptop?
You know, I sneaked a peek before APD took it out of Fring's office. The whole thing was encrypted.
I'm curious about this. Did he really have someone take out the hard drive, try to read it, then put it back? That's more than just a peek. Or does he just mean it was password protected?
Fring, you tricky bastard.
Maybe they wouldn't have got anything anyway.
At any rate, maybe the Magna Caper was unnecessary, which is funny since it made things worse. This scene is not only Merkert's exit from his job, but also from the Breaking Bad universe.
I had him out to my house. The whole night we were laughing, telling stories, drinking wine, and he's somebody else completely. Right under my nose.
We don't want people to start wondering about you, right?
Right in front of me.
Say these two know their chemistry. They got book learning, but no street skills.
Right under my nose.
Hank, I thought that was you. Oh, hey,
Schrader,
Steve,
I'm blocked. What do you got in there? Cinder blocks?
$500,000 in cash.
You had my wife's name! How'd you do it?
Maybe
Right in front of me.
he's still out there.
Well, what are you doing? You just missed it. Walter White?
Right under my nose.
You got me.
Did you know that Laura Fraser, who plays Lydia, is Scottish?
I couldn't have wished for a better, more appropriate ending for Lydia.
Her American accent is impeccable.
Oh, sorry, we don't have chamomile tea.
Then some sort of bergamot, provided it's not Earl Grey and I'd like soy milk instead of dairy.
We don't have soy milk or any sort of bergamot.
Wow, you're really running me through my paces here. English breakfast, I guess.
We have Lipton's.
I would like a cup of hot water, filtered, if possible, and a single slice of lemon. And I'm assuming you don't have stevia. Never mind, I brought my own.
You coming to me or am I coming to you?
Face forward, we'll talk like this.
I guess I'm coming to you.
Oh my God, Dwayne, this is so... Thank you. How did I not see you sitting back there? So weird.
Want anything else, Mike?
No, I'm good, Fred. Thanks. Now, what do you want from me and why is it so important? What's this?
A list of 11 names. You know them all.
So do we. 8 of the 11 handle security. Chris Mara appeared in Bug and Crawl Space, then rode with Gus to the hospital in End Times, and drove him to Casa Tranquila in Face Off. He's about to have his biggest moment later in this episode. Andrew Holt guarded the perimeter of the chicken farm for the cartel meeting in Problem Dog. Harris Boyven and Raymond Martinez were the 2 henchmen who tried to get Walt at his house in Face Off. The next 4 are new characters who we don't see until episode 8. Dwayne Chow owns Golden Moth Chemical, who supplied chemicals such as phenylacetic acid to Gus.
I get my phenylacetic acid from the barrel with the B on it.
And R.I.P. James Ning, who I didn't realize left us. Dennis Markowski is the laundry manager.
Just the two of you?
And Ron is a magical warehouse foreman who will meet in episode 4. Dan, the lawyer, isn't currently on the list, but he will be later.
These men were on the payroll. When they get picked up and threatened with prosecution, they're gonna talk. At least one of them's gonna talk.
You want me to kill every man on that list?
That's a leap, what you just... if you think that'd be wise.
These are my guys, and they are solid. And Fring made sure they were well compensated in the event of a situation such as this. They're paid to stand up to the heat. We don't kill 11 people as some kind of prophylactic measure.
As a cop in Philadelphia, he saw Hoffman and Fensky do exactly that.
It says crunch on the box.
Skylar. Car wash opens in 15 minutes.
Mariano can open for me today.
This is the only thing she says in this episode.
How about you get up, huh?
But this speaks volumes.
Hey, Chow. How you holding up?
Okay.
You can see Chow's bullet wound from Mike.
You're waiving your right to have an attorney present?
Correct.
Could you state that to the camera, please?
I'm waiving my right to have an attorney present.
Corporate security. And at a fast food restaurant, that's a full-time job?
We have 14 locations, so yes.
This is consistent with what Hank said before.
The man owns 13 other restaurants.
The article Skylar read last episode said more than a half dozen, which is technically correct, but a strange way to count to 14.
If we pulled your CCPs, everything would be in order?
Yeah, I'm guessing you've already done that, so you tell me.
I'll stop counting it, but here's another great glimpse of Hank's dead watch.
Your tenure as a police officer ended somewhat dramatically. You want to talk about that?
Not particularly.
Yeah, me neither. I'm more interested in why Gus Fring decided to put a guy like you in charge of his corporate security. He must have needed help running that drug empire of his, no?
Drug empire. First time hearing about that.
This can go hard or easy. So what's it gonna be?
Forget your handcuffs. I'm confused. Am I under arrest here or am I not? You want to state that for the camera?
You are not under arrest. Currently.
Agents, do you have any more questions for me? If I'm not under arrest, I'd prefer to leave.
Hank gets to show off his one more thing move again.
What are Gustavo Fring's fingerprints doing in Gail Bedeker's apartment? Is Gustavo Fring your real name? And I suppose we could talk about the $2 million in your granddaughter's name. Fring had all these secret offshore accounts. One of the names was Kaylee Ehrmantraut, my partner here. He took one look at that and said, shit, man. This fifth-grade girl is the muscle behind Fring's entire operation. I said, whoa, hey, partner, slow down there.
Hank is on fire in this scene.
Maybe it was actually her dear old granddaddy. Here's the thing, Mike. Michael?
Mr. Ehrmantraut.
Here's the thing, Mike. Lucky for you, you didn't touch that money. Cannot say the same for the other 11 on the list.
One of you guys is gonna roll on you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's the earlier movie quote. This is old footage because by this point, Saul's office was turned into a bar.
No more RVs.
The Crystal Ship did pretty good for us.
The Crystal Ship.
Yeah, that's what I called it.
I don't want to give an unnecessary Better Call Saul spoiler, but this conversation is weirdly repetitive. But it is realistic that people forget about past conversations. They purposely had Walt sit in the position of power here.
In town is trickier. I mean, you got a lot more of your prying eyes.
If Gus can manage it, then so can we.
If he only knew what it took for Gus to make the super lab.
Say a guy wins the lottery. He does not go buy another lottery ticket, right? He counts his lucky stars and he sails off into the sunset.
What lottery did I win exactly?
Hey, you're alive.
And I'm broke. Counting the money that I owe Jesse, I'm about 40 grand in the hole.
After season 4, people who tried to track Walt's money concluded he really should have over $500,000. Was he manipulating Jesse yet again, as owing him money keeps him in his life? The most likely explanation is that the writers were playing fast and loose with these details. Vince has admitted that math isn't his strong suit, but also this is leaving out other expenses like that bottle of wine, or boxes of Raisin Bran Crunch. Also, this doesn't include the magnet expense, but before that, Walt said,
I don't actually have any money right now.
So I think that means the magnet caper cost each of them $40,000.
I got you this time, kid. What's up, Chow?
The DEA.
The DEA take all my money. I need it.
We gotta talk.
Not on the phone. Can you come to my house?
Give me 2 hours.
There's a cat. This was not planned.
Chris, I'd like you to drop your gun where you stand, and then turn around very slowly. Come on over and sit next to Chow.
How much was she gonna pay?
Chris, the name of the guy who plays Chris, had never really acted before this.
10,000 a name.
How far did you get down the list?
Just Chow. But I figured I'd start with you. For you, she was gonna pay 30.
Are you ready?
This is my...
Lydia's house is meant to be in Houston, Texas, so this was a long trip for Mike. They couldn't figure out a natural way to explain this to viewers, so they gave up and waited until episode 5 to hint at it. Lydia's daughter is barefoot except for this shot and the next where these slippers appear.
She ate her peas, she ate her carrots, she ate a whole lot of carrots this time.
So I'm gonna take a bath, put Kira to bed, and then go on home. I'll see you tomorrow.
You gonna come say goodnight to me?
Yeah, honey, after Mommy takes a bath.
If you have anything to say to me, now's the time.
Mike's certainly giving her a chance, unlike Chris. He was probably influenced by the dynamic with her daughter.
Don't shoot me in the face. I don't want my daughter seeing me like that.
Nobody's gonna find you, Lydia.
Wait, what? She has to find me.
Do you want your 5-year-old daughter stumbling across your dead body?
I can't just disappear. She has to know I didn't leave her. She has to know that.
Keep your voice down.
Promise. I don't disappear.
Can you still get your hands on methylamine?
Maybe.
You still plan to move forward?
Yes, we do.
I've reconsidered. I'm in. Good.
Walt isn't understanding the depth and the reasons for Skylar's despair.
You know, it gets easier, what you're feeling right now. Ted, everything. It'll pass. And when we do what we do for good reasons, we've got nothing to worry about.
And for the second episode in a row, we get a creepy ending.
There's no better reason than family.
They cut it off here, but you can see in a deleted scene that this continued and got much worse. You know what time it is. Fearless Walt, Tricky Luck, Saner, and Jizzy Jazz are 6-month members. Congratulations to all 4 of you for earning your 6-month membership badge from YouTube. Fearless Walt joined for Moss, Saner joined for the April Fool's Day Slippin' Jimmy video, and the rest of you joined for IFT. Thanks so much for your support. Say hi to the newest members: Engel, Ice Cafefe, Rafael Reyes, RK Jokinen, Michael Packard, Hutch the Lynx, Zountedge, William Marsoles, MD Machiavelli, Yannick Merting, Sarcasm, Rzezduf, What Up, Family Guy Fan 15, JQ, Hayden Gonsalves, Austin Shannon, Charles Oku, Carl Neglis, Dot Billy, All-Star Rider, Lodass123, Monoswitch, Luger Television Company, I'm Just a Fan of Better Watch TV, The Sean, Vodka Spliff, JDev, Max Weber, Price, David Mason, J Rabbit Banana Hoovie, Anathu, Dejected Angel, Krona, Coco Man, Amino Frog, Sunrise Quanis, D Shepherd, Banana Bro, Paco, Juliana Krista, E Jota, and Kirby. Hello to some of the people further away from the screen like Jaffa, Olivia Ellison, Connor, Cat Does a Thing, Jeff M, JP Creations, and Tom Brown. And of course there's Boang, Jacob Hanna, Diltube, Amelia, and I need to fix the pronunciation of Evora. Hi, Seagull Time, Hollow Hype, Gert, Yessie, Sundry, Harley, Kian, Mason, Bongday. These members are the closest to getting their 6-month membership badge next. You'll see their names again soon, so hello Ryguy, Don Alfonso, Adam Coslin, Eulish, Jay Springman, Rock Gremlin, A Pork Chop Guy, Paul Boyle, W11, and Bubdino9. Next week, Marie finally makes her first appearance of the season, just in time for Skylar to politely request that she stops talking.